Welcome to this episode of Star Wars Declassified, where we look into different facts and stories revolving around the Star Wars canon universe and lore. This week we'll look into one Mon Calamari that disgraced his people and actually joined and fought for the Galactic Empire. A little context first, but it's very important to make it clear that the Mon Calamari absolutely hated the tyrannical Empire, and for good reason. At the end of the Clone Wars, with the Jedi exterminated in Palpatine's rise to power as Emperor of the newly formed Galactic Empire, he subjugated and enslaved Mon Calamari and occupied Mon Cala. In response, the Mon Calamari threw their weight behind the Rebel Alliance and played an important role in supplying warships to the Alliance fleet. However, not all Mon Calamari thought like this, and there was one who stood out from the rest. His name was Karbin, and not only was he a commander of an Imperial fleet, but also groomed to be a potential replacement of Darth Vader. Now, the story of Karbin is quite interesting, as he was a well-known commander during the Clone Wars. However, towards the end of the conflict, his starship was heavily damaged, to the point where it was assumed that he had been killed in action. Fortunately for him, by a miracle he survived, but did so with considerable injuries that were thought to be untreatable. Due to his high rank in the Navy, he spent the next 18 years on life support in a medical center. And during the final 2, of which he was given a cybernetic body inspired by that of the late General Grievous, by the Imperial Doctor SYLO. This cybernetic body had 2 arms, which could be split to reveal another pair, giving him 4 arms in total. With this, he could also wield up to 4 lightsabers at once, just as his predecessor General Grievous once did. The reasoning behind all of this was simple. Dr. SYLO had seen Karbin as the perfect candidate to join his line of experiments, whom would challenge for Vader's spot as Palpatine's number 1. It's unknown whether Karbin completely knew or even cared about the atrocities put upon his people by the Empire, due to him spending all those years on life support. But considering the Empire did give him a second chance at life, he was willing to devote his life to serve Palpatine. Karbin's first mission came shortly after the Battle of Yavin, where Grand General Cassio Tag ordered him to find and capture the rebel pilot who destroyed the Death Star. However, Vader at this time was also looking for the pilot, but for his own personal reasons, as he had suspected for him to be his son, Luke Skywalker. So the race between Vader and Karbin for Luke Skywalker began. It was Vader who first eventually did track down Luke to the planet of Virgos Voss, where he wiped out nearly the entire rebel force on the planet in order to get to him. However, just as Vader was close to finding Luke, Karbin's Imperial forces invaded the planet, surprising even Vader himself. It was then Karbin who revealed to Vader that he'd been the one using Vader this entire time, following him to the planet, letting him destroy all the rebels, and then allowing Karbin's forces to swoop in for a clean victory and capture Skywalker. Naturally, with the two being fierce rivals and Vader knowing he could not let Karbin get to Luke before he did, he stood in Karbin's way, forcing the two to a duel. Karbin, whom always seek to kill Vader, saw this as the perfect opportunity to end him once and for all and take his place as Palpatine's number 1. Karbin was in high belief that with 4 lightsabers against Vader's 1, he would most certainly be victorious. However, using the Force, Vader got the upper hand on Karbin and severed one of his arms. The duel didn't last too long. Eventually, Vader then lured Karbin onto a natural bridge made out of rock and had Dr. Aphra crash her ship, the Archangel, onto him, resulting in Karbin falling down into a chasm along with the downed ship. Karbin did suffer heavy injuries, but because of his cyborg body, he was able to barely survive the impact. In his last moments of life, he realized that Vader never had the intention of pursuing Luke as revenge for the Death Star. Rather, he had a personal reason behind all of it. Unfortunately for him, he never knew what it was, as he was executed shortly after by Vader, whom as a result wiped out one more threat against both him and his son, Luke Skywalker. And that will do it for this week. Let me know if I missed anything and what Star Wars content you would like for me to cover in future videos. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, along with subscribing to the channel to not only support it, but keep up with Star Wars news, gaming, and canon lore released every week. And consider following me on Twitter and Facebook to never miss out on the latest Star Wars related content. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.